Remember what we did last week?
I wrote it down, but I don't have
It's all right. We went over self-development last week. So this week we're going to talk about the difference between personality and character. There's a huge difference between the two, and we could develop the personality of recovery really well and not the character of it. So we think we're doing it when we're actually not doing it. We just develop the personality. So if some life lessons, character is what you are in the dark, not what you do in the dark. Your character is what you are in the dark when nobody's looking. Be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. So often than not, I wanted people to just think about me in a good light, so I'll do whatever I think I needed to do to get them to see me that way, and it would be taken away from my character. A friend of everyone is a friend of no one. I'm telling you that right now. You trying to be everybody's friend, you ain't going to be anybody's friend. It's impossible. You're going to have to change who you are in order to become everybody's friend. So that means that we start to conforming to their opinions and their likes. So we start to do things just to get them to like us, when necessarily might not be who we are. High school, I didn't wear the clothes I wanted to wear. I didn't date the girls I wanted to date. And I didn't listen to the music I wanted to listen to. Instead, I followed what everybody else was doing. And in that process, I lost my identity. And by losing my identity, the drugs gave me a false sense of identity. When we lose our identity, we will go to anything that makes us feel good, regardless of what makes us feel good is not something that's actually good for us. So character is far more important than personality. Our character actually determines our personality. So if I ask you, what do you think the difference between the two is? Personal opinion. Do you think they're the same? Do you think they're different? What do you think it is? Difference between personality and character.
Character is like more how you are on the inside.
Good.
And
come on.
Personality is what you show on the outside.
Very good. Very good. Personality is what we're showing the world. Character is actually who we are on the inside. So the act as if you're not building the character of recovery, you're only building the personality of it. You're only doing things for the outward part of it. We're not really doing it to become the person. We're just doing it to maybe not get bothered by staff, or just doing it because we're told if we do it, we'll get something. But motives plus intentions equal energy. You need to understand that. Motives plus intentions equals energy. So if your motive is just act as if, just to do things so people ain't bothering you, right? Your intentions is that. What kind of energy do you think that's going to bring in your life? If you're just doing things for the perception of it, rather than doing things to become it. Very negative. This is why we are able to accumulate days but not keep our recovery. Because we weren't producing the right energy from the work that we were doing to actually attract something. So let's stay with energy for a second. What you focus on, you attract. Let's stay there for a second. If you are having feelings in your life that you do not like, I want to know what you're focusing on. Because whatever you're focusing on, that feeling is an attraction from that focus. Think about it. Whenever you feel like shit, what are you focusing on in that moment when you feel like shit? And how are you focusing on it? We are attracting negative feelings. Believe it or not, my opinion, we create the feelings we don't like to feel. We create them, not people. What?
That's what we're comfortable in.
People ain't creating it. People's words have no power whatsoever. They don't. If your words had power, my pastor did this Sunday, so I'm going to use it. If your words got power, then tell this can to fly.
Fly can.
Fly. Fly did it last night.
Words have no power. It's our response to people's words that gives it power. It's our response. So if someone says something about us and we're not right with ourselves, their words are going to bother the shit out of us. People tell me I can't do something today. All right, cool. People told me I couldn't do this in active addiction. Go fuck yourself. Huge difference now. So whatever you focus on, you're attracting. I'm giving you an example. Anyone ever see a specific car or a certain number and then start seeing the shit everywhere?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why do you think you started seeing it everywhere? It wasn't like that number never
Because you were
existed,
thinking
and
about
it
it.
wasn't like the car didn't exist. The reason that... Go ahead.
Because you think about it.
When we looked at it, we focused on the car. We focused on that number. So when we focused on it, it put the image on our brain. So now our eyes pick it up quicker. So if you're focusing on your problem as a problem, what are you attracting?
Problem.
No problem.
Feelings associated with problems. Frustration, irritability, anxiety, impatience. We
You're
focus...
saying that every time I see 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm focusing on it.
You had focused on it at a certain point where now it's on your brain. I'll show you how strong focus is. If people want to really know how strong focus is. Brain energy, by the way. Has anyone ever felt somebody staring at them from behind?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And then actually turn around and see the person staring.
Yes.
Listen to what I just said, because logically it doesn't make any fucking sense. Were you able to feel somebody staring at you?
Yes.
That doesn't make sense. You need to see things in order to see them. But because the person focused on you, their attention was on your back, that focus is so strong, it attracted your attention to turn around. So when we're focusing on something, we start creating something out of it. So now it's the conversation you are having with what you're focusing on creates an interpretation of it. We need to change our conversations with things when we're starting to get feelings we don't like. Instead of trying to get rid of the feeling, change the conversation, you change the feeling. Change the conversation, you change the perspective. Your perspective is how you see things. Perception is your understanding of something. So if you understand that you can't do this, your perspective is that this work is hard. See how that works? If your understanding is that people are out to get you, your perspective is, I can't trust anybody. Do you see how we're seeing the world is a result of how we think we understand what's going on? So if you got the wrong perspective of life, that means you got the wrong understanding of what this life is. I'm going to tell you what I think this is. And remember, no college education. This is just my opinion. Life has nothing to deal with what happens to you whatsoever. That's not life. Life is how you're dealing with what happens to you. That's the life I live. The life I live is the choices I make when things happen to me. That's the life I'm living. If you're making your life about active addiction is something that we did. It's what we did. It's not who you are. So it's something that we did. It's not who we are. So what is your understanding now of who you are as a person? Are you an addict? Or are you an alcoholic? Or addiction and alcohol is what you did?
That's what I did.
There you go. So if it's what I did, why did I do what I did? And how did I do what I did? Once we learn that, now you know what you need to do in recovery. Every action has what?
Reaction.
A lot of times actions happen to us, correct? So if something negative happens to you and your reaction is negative to the negative, what the fuck do you think we're creating? So we got to stop getting so caught up on the negativity happening to us and now start learning a way to communicate with that in order to now create a positive reaction. There's a reason I asked you guys for action words. Because the action word, I can't overcome a negative thought. Can anybody overcome a negative thought?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I
My-
it comes, but I process it.
If that's the answer, there's no wrong answers here. My mind, if I could overcome a negative thought, then I should never have that negative thought ever again. That's how my mind thinks. So since I'm always going to have negative thoughts, scientifically proven, 90% of your self-talk is negative. Scientifically proven, you get 75,000 thoughts a day. So out of that 75,000, 90% is negative. Not every thought needs to become reality, though. Which thoughts are you making your reality? Some thoughts could just stay a thought. Whatever we focus on, we are attracted. I will show you how powerful our brain is. How your brain can make you feel something that's not actually happening. Anyone ever watch a movie or see somebody fall and them hurt themselves and you grab yourself like that?
Yeah.
Nothing fucking touched you though. But you actually felt sensation on your body.
What do they call that?
I don't know. I just know that our brain can make us feel shit that ain't actually happening. I don't know the term for
It's
it.
called something.
It probably has a name for it, right? But think about it. If your brain can make you feel pain on something that's not touching you, what can your brain be making you feel right now that's not true?
Sympathy pains.
That's what it is? Okay.
Like, you know, like someone's hurting and then like you're hurting? Like,
No, I'm talking about an actual physical pain that you feel when you see
like
something.
when he hits the fucking rail and splits his shit.
Yes, yeah. And you'll feel it.
Skateboarding videos.
The mind, our mind tells our body what to do. The body is a messenger of the mind. I will show you how powerful our mind is, how our mind could supersede our body. Anybody ever wake up with withdrawal, sick, just sick as fuck?
When I was on fentanyl, yeah.
But you were able to get up off that floor and pull a scheme to get some money so you're not sick, right? Anyone else there? I've done it. What got you up off the floor? Because it wasn't your body. Your body was done for. Your mind got you up off the floor. Yo, Mike, get up. You don't want to feel this way, bro. Get the fuck up. Let's go do this. My mind got me up off the floor. Soon as I was about to get the drugs, my mind took away the withdrawal before the drug actually coming into my body. Soon as the drug dealer picked up the phone, my withdrawal started to go away. This shit is all up here. It's all up here. We have to get our minds right. So I'm curious on what you're feeding your mind throughout the day. What are we feeding our mind throughout the day? Are we talking about problems or are we talking to our problems? You know what? Life sucks, but it ain't gonna suck forever. You know what? I was living on the street a couple months ago. I'm living in a nice house right now, so my life is getting better, so I'm gonna hope that it's gonna keep getting better. How are we speaking to our problems? Or you're just telling people how fucked up your life is and how you lost everything? Is that all you're saying? Death in life is in the power of the tongue.
Negative talk, man. It's a if you're, speaking negative or negative things, gonna keep coming back to you.
You can speak a curse on yourself.
Yeah.
Curse on yourself.
He just said that. That's how true that is. He said that as you were saying it. But what I'm saying is your motives. Why are you doing this? Why are you truly... There you go. How are you going to get it done?
I'm gonna do it. Do it.
You're gonna do
Just
it.
do it.
So look what's happening here. I want you guys to pay attention to this. Your why is creating the how. Your why is creating your how. If your why ain't great enough, your how ain't getting it done right now. This has to be more than just wanting to live a better life. You got to be specific on what that better life looks like. Real specific. Real specific. Because if you don't have a vivid, if I'm driving and I got something covering the windshield, I'm going to crash. Because what? I got no vision. I'm cloudy. If you can't see it right now, what is your why? Why are you truly doing this?
I don't want to die from fentanyl, and the only way to not die from fentanyl is to not do fentanyl.
Amen. Good. Very good. Anybody else? Why are you doing this? If you don't know why, start writing journal entries, man. My why is always changing. My why is always changing because I'm getting to reach different and different plateaus. My first was to not use. That was the why. So now I learned how to not use. After not using, I want a bank account. So I learned how to save money. After the bank account, I want an apartment. I got a job and did that. You see how the why created then the how. Without a vision, there's no blueprint. Without no blueprint, You ain't building shit.
No structure.
No structure. I say it all the time. New York City, Empire State Building, that was a vision in someone's brain. They imagined it, right? Innovation. And then that vision allowed them to draw a blueprint. When they drew the blueprint, then they knew where to put the plumbers, where the carpenters, where the electricians need to go, where the painters need to go, and then they built the building. You're not going to be able to build your structure by yourself. You need carpenters. You need plumbers. You need electricians, aka you need people that have gone through what you've gone through, or someone with some kind of education to help you build yourself now. This whole independent thing, it's bullshit. It's gonna run you into the ground, man. Trust me when I tell you. I almost took myself out a couple times in these last 3 years because I wanted to be independent. I wanted to be able to say, I did this by myself on my own. When my active addiction, none of it was done on my own. I had to rob somebody. I had to manipulate somebody. I needed a drug dealer. I needed a stupid cashier at Walmart. I needed all of it. I needed people in order to stay in active addiction, whether you think so or not. If there was no people on this earth, you wouldn't have been able to get any fucking drugs. We got to start learning how to utilize people now in recovery. You got to get people to help you. It will humble the shit out of you. And once you get humble, now you could really learn and grow. Really learn and grow. All right, so difference between character and personality. Both terms are used to describe aspects of a person. Character refers to a person's moral and ethical qualities, including their values and principles. So this is important. Where's my eraser? What are values?
Something that means something to you.
Give me something specific. Give me specific values of something that somebody or you yourself would want to have. Freedom, good. Family, good. Respect, good.
Justice.
Justice, very good. Love. Trust, good. Loyalty, very good. So those are the things that we're supposed to be striving for, by the way. Not money, none of it. Einstein has a quote, strive to be of value, not of success. So what he's saying is, first become valuable, then success will find you. For instance, drugs are valuable, right? We see them as valuable. So once we see drugs as valuable, the demand of the drug does what?
Goes up.
Goes up. Because of the value that's seen in it. You make yourself valuable, become a loyal person, become a trustworthy person, have respect, have compassion. The demand of you will go up. A job wants to hire a loyal person. Someone wants to be in a relationship with a trustworthy person. There's a high demand for me in this world because of the value that I instilled in myself when I was in treatment. I spent 12 hours a day studying myself for a year in treatment. I wasn't there to make friends. First day, they make you introduce yourself to everyone. New York City is about 200 people. My first day, I got up. My name is Mike. If you're getting high, I'm snitching on you. And I sat down. And I sat down. Nobody brought that bullshit to me, though.
Yep.
No one brought their bullshit. They talk about me all you want to talk about me. I'm cool with that. I'm here for myself. 1 year I spent on myself. The 2 years after that, I've accomplished shit people have never even seen before. Because of Jesus. But I built myself to be valuable first. Now there's a demand for me. So what do you have to build for yourself for there to be a demand? Why should a job hire you right now? Because you need money? Or should the job be hiring you because you got character? You're punctual. So I started to make sure that I showed up for everything on time while I was in treatment. Learn how to be punctual. I got organized when I was in treatment. I studied time management in treatment. I was a CEO broke with nothing in my bank account, but I acted like a CEO. I didn't entertain conversations of bullshit. I presented myself with the integrity of my company when I didn't even have a company yet. You must first become the person before you actually get what that person could get. You think owning a business makes you an entrepreneur? No, it don't. What makes you an entrepreneur is that you know finances, business management, organizational skills, time management, all of that, become that person before you get the business. Because we could get it and lose it. What do you got?
What was the word that you said? You said, does the job want to hire you because you're broke, or does it hire you because of your character? And...
Yes. Should the job hire you because you need money?
Yeah, but you said character, and you said another word.
No, obedience comes for character.
I don't know.
Because you have something to
Character,
add.
trustworthy, maybe.
Punctual, organizational.
Punctual.
Punctual. Yes.
What does that mean?
Means showing up on time.
Okay.
Like if I got an appointment, I'm not calling out. I'm going to it. If the appointment's at 2 and you're there at 2, you're late. By the way,
Yeah.
should be there 10 minutes before 2.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's just the proper way to do it. My father said you're never early. You're either on time or you're late. Don't ever think you're going early, because then we start getting entitled. Oh, I'm showing up to work early. I deserve a raise. I'm showing up to work early every day. I could take a day off, because that's the way my mind used to work. You're either on time or you're late. All right? So character refers to moral. Moral is what, you think? Moral qualities is what?
Goals.
What's your morals? Where would morals come from?
What's your
Inside. Inside. Very good.
Honesty.
Honesty, respect. If something's ethics, anyone know that one?
It's the right thing to do.
Very good. Values is what we want to stand on, and then principles. If I'm a principal of a school, what am I in charge of? Everything. Principles are rules that govern our behavior. You cannot make up your own principles for yourself, by the way. That's the whole reason, for AA and NA, the higher power thing. Right? There's principles that's in that structure of that program that governs your behavior. So, for instance, if my value is I want to be trustworthy, my principle is that I must what? Tell the truth. Right? So when you pick values, you must find a principle that's going to help you enforce that value. So if my value is respect, what is my principle?
To respect others.
What would be the rule, though? In order to show you respect, what is something you're going to have to remind yourself?
Respect yourself.
Respect yourself. Very good. Respect yourself first. Understand people can only meet you where they've met themselves. So if you're expecting someone to be trustworthy and they don't trust themselves, it ain't going to happen. If you're expecting someone to respect your side of the room and they don't even make their bed every day, that ain't going to happen.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you could start understanding where people are and accept that, it won't fuck you up as much as you think people are messing you up.
It's because you expect more out of them.
Well, expectations, and I probably see me in you on something that I'm not doing, so I'm going to tell you to do it instead of telling myself to do it. That's just my own life. I'm not saying that's everybody, right?
Well, it is everybody. So,
principles. So, your spiritual walk, where are your principles coming from? I want to read something to you guys real quick. AA got all their principles from this little part of the Bible, by the way. Everybody did. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Poor in spirit is the neediness of God. What is the first couple steps of AA? Blessed are those who mourn. Blessed are those who mourn. Mourning isn't just crying. In the Bible, mourning is repenting. I think there's a step that talks about amends in AA. Blessed are the meek. Those are people who are gentle. That even though they could be dangerous, they choose not to be dangerous. Give it to keep it. AA's always talking about service and being nice to the newcomer. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. Are you asking God what is the right thing to do right now? That means you're thirsting and hunger for righteousness.
Oh, yeah.
You got a sponsor, right? Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. How much mercy are you showing people in your life right now? Are you judging everybody around you right now? You will be judged in the manner in which you judge. So if someone starts judging your life, don't get upset if you're out here judging people's life.
Amen.
Blessed are the merciful, blessed are the pure in heart, blessed are the peacemakers, blessed are those who are persecuted. These are my principles. These are the principles of Matthew. This is what Jesus taught. These are characteristics. You have to become this by practicing it every day. I don't get to be in poor in spirit on Monday and take off Tuesday and Wednesday. You don't, and this ain't multiple choice neither. You don't get to choose one that you like. This is everything. If you practice these things, your life is going to change. Really. There's people that don't even believe in Christ that believe in the principles of Christianity, though.
The devil, though, man. That's right.
Elon Musk even said it. He goes, listen, and Joe Rogan, like, yo, I don't know what it is, but when people practice those principles, their lives get better.
Yes, sir.
And they don't even believe in God. But they still say this, so there has to be something there. You guys got to find principles to live by. If it's not Jesus, where are you getting it from? AA, all right? But you're going to need principles, all right? Personality describes outward expression. For instance, act as if. Acting as if. Are you doing this shit when nobody's looking? Let's be honest. No. When I'm acting as if, I'm only doing it in the setting where it's needed. When I'm alone, I'm not doing it no more. Because it's not my character. Motives plus intention equals energy. If you're acting as if, that's your motive. Your intention is to just do it for the perception of it. So the energy is you don't even really feel like you're doing it. So you give up on yourself sometimes.
Wait, say that again. When you don't act.
Acting as if.
Yeah.
The motive is just to do it for the perception of people. So the reason that we're doing is for your perception of what I'm doing.
When you quit doing that.
It's because the motives was wrong. My motive wasn't to do it for me to get better. My motive was for me to do it so you think I'm getting better.
So when you do that, if you wash someone's dish, but then you say, "I washed their dish."
Yes, that's going to create negative energy.
Yes.
But he said
Because
that
the
you
motive
do
was
it.
really to say I'm better than you.
Yeah.
So that energy, you might get an argument from that
Well, when you
person.
do it that way, there's never an internal change, and
Yes.
so you end up giving up because you're like, well, there's.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you don't.
We're talking about giving
Yeah,
up.
so all right. So when you're acting as if, a lot of times we'll be doing all the things, but we're not getting what we are being told we should get from it. So now we just give up on it.
But it's because you weren't doing it.
But you weren't doing it for the right reason to begin with, right? So acting as if you are pretending to be someone in recovery,
Faking it until
right?
you make it.
Behave as though. Let me ask a question real quick. Did we act like addicts or did we behave like addicts?
Hey.
Was an addict became our character.
Yeah.
So therefore our personality always comes from our character. Personality is a result of character. Personality is an outward expression of your character. Personality is an outward expression of your character. We're real good at manipulating people. So we develop the personality without the character. So when we don't have the character, when life gets difficult, we give up because we only had the personality. We never had the character of it. We behaved like addicts. We didn't act like addicts. When we behaved like addicts, who did we become?
It's hard to, like when I was an addict, I mean, I was super confident. I knew what I was doing. I knew, but
Yeah. Why do you think you were so confident?
Because we were high.
I mean,
Plus, you've been that way for a
I
long
knew it.
time.
I mean, I knew how.
Because you were practicing the life for so long that you realized what you can and can't do. So you had confidence in your ability because you kept living that life and practicing those behaviors.
I had all this confidence out there, making all this fast money, doing all the shit that I was doing. But now that I'm not, it's like,
Oh my God.
like maybe like second guessing yourself just a little
Yeah.
bit. Like, oh,
Values. Making money is not a value. I make good money today, but I make good money because of my value. I don't chase the bag. I haven't chased the bag in a minute. You chase the bag, you're going to get the bag, you're going to blow the bag. Nobody chases the bag and keeps the bag. I don't know anybody that's chasing something that keeps what they chase. The only people that I know that keep shit is the ones that attract it. I attract opportunities because of the value and the principles I live by. So the opportunities that come to me, all good things come from above. The opportunities that come to me are coming from God. When you're chasing things, you're not going to get what God got for you. You're going to get what you want. And you're going to get got by whatever you do get. I mean, we know that life.
That's why it has to be. That's why it has to be an inward change.
Yes.
Right? It has to be an inward change, and that expresses itself outwardly, and not. I mean, but I don't hate. I mean, everybody's like, oh, I hate fake it till you make it. I mean, I understand the fake it till you make it to like get you in the right steps to be able to start to feel that way possibly, but you can't maintain there. Those are the
Motives
people,
plus intentions
Yeah.
equal energy. Do
Yeah.
not fake any of this shit.
Yeah.
Faith it.
I hate fake.
Faith it
Yeah.
until you make it, not fake it until you make it. Believe that what you're doing today is going to make you a better person, and it will make you a better person. Faking the funk today, you are probably the same person you were yesterday by the time you end today. But you did the things. But the things ain't doing nothing for you because of the motive behind why you're doing it. Energy and God links up. God is the major energy source. I did smart recovery. I never did NA or AA. Smart recovery is basically the science behind addiction. Then I learned how you get a spiritual awakening. Spiritual awakening does occur in those steps, but you could get a spiritual awakening without those steps. You know why you get a spiritual awakening with those steps? Those steps make you get honest with God, yourself, and others. So honesty leads to a spiritual awakening. However you achieve that honesty, you know how I got my honesty through science? I started doing research on the brain and everything, and I was like, oh shit, wait a second. Like the drugs are causing a chemical imbalance that's making me do this way, but I'm still making these choices. So why did I use drugs? You see how it made me have to start getting honest with myself? Honesty will lead to a spiritual awakening. But once your eyes are open, you better have principles that are spiritual in order to keep your eyes open the way they are, in order to keep your ears open, because what's going to happen is something's going to get revealed to you, and then you ain't going to hear shit no more, and you ain't going to see shit no more, so you're going to think it was like a mirage or an illusion or a fantasy and not believe in it. Giving your life to Christ is a one-time thing, but it is something that's practiced every day. Whatever spiritual journey you're on, whatever God you believe in, you need to practice that relationship with whatever God you believe in every single day. Not when shit is difficult. When shit is good, when it's difficult, your choices before, the mistakes after. When I first started walking, praying to God was like a chore. Like, damn, I gotta freaking pray right now before I go to sleep. And now it's like it's just part of my vocabulary. My personality is aligned with God's will. He's aligned me with Him. All day long I'm talking to Him. I'm praying for people that don't even know I'm praying for them when I'm driving. When did that happen? Because I was a selfish person. I want the money out your pocket, and then I want your bank account.
Yeah.
I want your drugs, so I'm going to steal them, and then I'm going to split them with you if you think you lost them. Like, I would steal people's drugs and then help them look for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just split it with them. So now when I need one, yo, remember when you lost your shit and I hooked you up? Bro, I'm hurting right now. You got something for me?
Yeah.
Kill them with kindness, right? You've heard that before. Listen to this. Kill them with kindness. Now let's go back to what I said. Motives plus intention equals energy. If you are looking to kill someone with kindness, your motives are fucked up. You shouldn't be looking to kill anybody with kindness. The kindness shouldn't be a strategy. The kindness should be because it's who you are rather than what you're showing. Kill someone with kindness, you might have an enemy that you do not want to have moving forward. And you might embarrass them in front of other people. Motives plus intentions equal energy. Don't get upset that you get something back from that person in the future. Check your motives. Question your intentions. Make sure that they are aligned with the why. All right? Properly. So personality is based on techniques. For instance, Bible says don't just listen to the word, be a doer of the word. Technique would be me just following the laws of this book, right? Just following it just for that. Not to become what that book tells me to do. Just do the things the book tells me to do. Not become who it is that I'm being told I need to become. I'm just doing the things to do the things.
Yeah.
Techniques. For instance, doing the steps. How many times people have done the steps and got nothing out of it because they were just doing it as a technique. Exactly. They were doing the technique of the step rather than your character is based on principles. instead of having the steps help us become a better person, we're doing the steps hoping we'll become a better person. Motives plus intentions equals energy. What are the motives behind why you're doing those steps? Is it to learn about yourself and become a better person? Or is the steps so you get some shit back? Or so you're not drinking no more? So you're not doing drugs no more? What's the motives behind it? Personality focuses, the focus is on to appear to be.
Yeah.
Our personality focuses on appearing to be a certain type of person. Where character focuses on actually becoming it. So don't let people tell you get what you want. Because that's bullshit. I wanted a better life 15 years ago. I didn't get the better life. You want to know why I didn't get the better life? Because I didn't have the habits to produce that life. I just wanted it. Wanting something is not enough. You must produce the habits of the person that can get what you want before you're actually going to get it and keep it. Because if you become the person first, when you get it, you keep it. If you're hoping that thing makes you become a person, you're going to lose it. For instance, the job ain't going to keep you clean. Your kids ain't going to keep you clean. Your court case ain't going to keep you clean. You got to keep you clean. But if we try to put it that those things are going to make us do it, how many times have we tried that? Get into a relationship with someone, they're going to make me better. They're going to make sure I do it right. You know what? This job is a good job. It's going to make sure I show up on time. Do you notice that we made things make us become something? We never became anything. You must first become by practicing habits before you become that person. So what habits do you need to practice right now in order to become who it is you want to become? You never want to use drugs ever again. What are some habits you're going to have to practice to become?
Learn how to deal with your emotions.
Coping skills, good.
Change people, places, and things.
Changing things.
Set boundaries.
Setting boundaries.
Humble yourself.
Humble yourself. We have a lot of bad habits, y'all. People tell us no, we get pissed off. We don't get what we want when we want. We think we're never going to get it. We got really bad habits right now.
Assertive communication.
Very good. Assertive communication. Very good. Addiction is a habit, man. It's a habit. Using drugs is a habit. How did we produce that habit? What did we practice that allowed that habit to take over our lives? We took things personally. We didn't ask for help. We thought we were work. We practiced things. I'm going to tell you something right now. The more you repeat a thought, the more it becomes a belief. That's why the enemy keeps lying to us. Eventually, you say a lie long enough, you believe it. How do I know that? When I was manipulated, I started to believe my own lies because of all the lie I kept repeating over and over and over again. There's some shit right now I can tell you. I don't know if it truly happened or not. I think it happened. I think it happened. I think it happened. I don't know if it really happened, though. I was a pathological liar. I lied for no reason.
Exactly.
You notice you didn't have to be taught on how to lie? You want to know why? Because we're born into sin.
Yeah.
You notice that we don't need to be taught on how to do wrong, but we actually need to be taught on how to do something right? We're born into sin. No, not righteous, no, not one. We all fall short of the glory of God. He without sin cast the first stone. That is who we are as people on our own. On our own, without any help from a higher power. For me, it's Jesus. When I'm left to myself, I'm in big, big trouble. When I'm left to me figuring all this shit out, I'm in big, big trouble. So look, appear to be. This is chasing your recovery like you chase the drug. Personality. Character is attracting your recovery by becoming the person first. I don't want you chasing this. Whatever we're chasing, you do not keep it when you get it. It's about only getting it. So we'll do whatever we have to do to get it. We will actually sabotage our character in order to get something we're chasing after. We will we will cut our arm off to get high, and then I'll deal with the problem after I get high.
Exactly.
Because we're chasing it. We don't care about the results after. All we care about is just getting it, not keeping it. So you want to attract your recovery right now. You want it to come to you. So how can you bring better opportunities to you? What do you have to start practicing right now in order to bring something better to you instead of you going and get it?
Obedience.
Obedience, 100%.
Patience.
Patience, good. Good things come to those who
Wait.
Look how true that is. Look how the Holy Spirit worked on that one. What are some things that you're going to have to practice? Like, for instance, I want to get married, I want to have kids, but I'm fucking shot in my head. I can't meet the right girl right now because I'm shot, right? In order to be able to attract the woman I want to marry, I must first become the man first, and I'm not that man yet. Not for the woman that I want to marry, not for the woman that I have in my mind, right? Right? I have to attract her to me. I can't chase because I'm always picking the wrong ones when I chase. Not that they're bad, they're just not right for me for where I am right now, determined on where they are. So if you want to get into a relationship with somebody, who you are right now, what are you attracting? Because if it's not someone that can be a helper and help you get where you want to go, you now need to change who you are right now so you could attract a better person. So characters based on actual. So our personality evolves around these things. Our image, our public relation, which would be social media, communication. A lot of us can say Gucci shit and not actually be the person. You can say the shit, but you're not practicing it, right? And then management. These things.
Meaning what?
What?
Management meaning what?
So this is an outward expression. So our personality can manage. Our personality manages things in the moment. If I'm, say, funny. That's a part of my personality. I will use my humor to manage a situation. Right? Look what character revolves around. Integrity. Compassion. Contribution. Part of our lives has to be about giving away.
Yes.
If your mental health, people don't talk about this. A huge aspect of mental health is how much of yourself you're giving back and helping with. If you're not helping people and you're not doing something for people, your mental health ain't going to get as strong as it can. That's why in the rooms they say you got to give it to keep it. Does anybody know why they say that? What do you think the idea behind it is?
I think it's so that you get out of your own self. Like
Good.
worrying about
Very good.
yourself, your problems. When you hear someone else's problems, I think it just takes you out of yourself and stops your
Good.
ego maybe.
Anyone else? Why do you have to give it to keep it? Responsibility. Anybody else? Why you got to give it to keep it?
You'll lose it.
You'll lose it. Why do you think we lose it if we don't give it?
Practice it.
Very good. So in order to give it to keep it, when I give you what I've learned, I keep it because I keep refreshing myself with it. At the second thing, when I give you something, I see what I went through had a purpose more than just it being personal. I started to realize that the things I went through were never for me to begin with. My life, I lived my life so I could help other people live their lives. So everything that I went through was never personal. Everything I went through had purpose. Everything you're going through right now has nothing to do with it being personal. If anyone knows the book of Job, that wasn't personal. Because if that was personal, then that makes our God not a just God. If he punished Job because he was a good person, we're in trouble. I'm telling you that right now. It was for a purpose. It was God showing people that
I can take everything.
I could take everything away, I could give it, but I will give you more after I take it away, depending on how you suffer. If anyone reads that book, Job prospered at the end because of how he suffered.
Came
He had no idea why this was happening to him. Anybody right now have no idea why they're going through the shit they're going through?
Yeah.
Job had that. Job said, I came into this world naked, I'm going to leave this world naked. The Lord give it, the Lord take it. The Lord gave me my family, the Lord could take my family. Imagine saying that. Job was the most righteous man of that time. And at that time, bad things only happened to bad people. So God wanted to show us that what happening to you is not because you're bad or you're good. What's happening to you is because I want you to get my glory out of it.
Or it's your destiny, huh?
Destiny, yes. So how are you suffering right now? Are you complaining? Are you blaming people? Are you cursing God? How are you suffering? Because if you're suffering in a sense where the suffering is teaching you and the suffering is making you grateful that it could be worse, or the suffering today is a lot better than the suffering from the past, if you start doing that, you start to prosper. Prosperity is a byproduct of suffering. You can't prosper unless you first suffer. You can't succeed unless you first fail. They're byproducts. There's a relationship between everything that's going on in your life. It's not just one thing. It's a relationship with something else. If you're going through something, God is trying to get you something out of it. Whatever you see as a weakness, God sees as a strength. That's why you're going through the trial, to exploit your weakness, because God is wanting you to get to Him. Blessed are those who are poor in spirit. The neediness of God. If He made us perfect, we wouldn't need Him. If He made us perfect, we wouldn't even know what His love, grace, and mercy even is. Because we would have never made mistakes where we would need grace, or need mercy, or really be shown His love. His love is unconditional. He's not loving you because of what you did. He's loving you because of who He is. There's a difference. Society judges us on by what we do, and your bank account, and your status is according to that. So now we look at God as the way we look at people. God is not like people. He's God. There's no way for us to fully understand who He is. He gave us a book for us to understand what He wants us to know. That's it. I'm on a need-to-know basis with God. He lets me need to know things when I need to know them.
Exactly.
When I start asking questions on the why and the why and the why, and you want to get yourself in that rabbit hole, well, who created God? You are going to be in a fucking abyss for the rest of your life. You will be lost for the rest of your life. If you go with those questions, who created God? Well, who created that? You are just going to keep going. Backwards, by the way, not forward. X and Y takes us backwards, not forward. So, integrity, contribution, compassion, responsibility, courage. So we want to start developing more character, right? So here are some things to think about. Where we at? All right. Personality is the way one carries oneself. So what we show people. Character is what a person is like on the inside. Someone can make you believe that they're compassionate, but on the inside be dark as hell.
Yeah.
Character is what a person is like on the inside. Personality. Different things such as sense of humor, friendliness, and passion determines your personality. Listen to character. Major components of your character include honesty, respect, responsibility, courage, loyalty. So we want to start building values. We want to stand on values before anything. We want our character to let people see our personality. Do not develop a personality of somebody if you haven't practiced the habits of that person. Personality is connected to someone's appearance. Personality is connected to someone's appearance. Listen to character. Character encompasses one's moral values. What is a compass used for? Our character is directing us. My character is being built from this book. Jesus Christ is directing me. We need to really look at our character. If you want to know who you are, what are you doing when nobody's looking? Or even better yet, this question you don't have to answer out loud. But try to answer it honest to yourself. If you could do something right now and get away with it, what would you do? Going to show you your character. Conviction is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. If you're being convicted, that means you're walking in the Spirit. You can't be convicted if you're not walking in the Spirit. Only the Spirit can convict you. If you're walking with God, God is going to confront us to make us better, not to fight with us. If God ain't confronting you, the Bible says believers ought to take pride in their humble circumstances. If you're being humbled right now, take pride that God's taking some time out of his day to, help you out.
To humble you what?
Because he didn't have to pick any of us. You need to understand that. He didn't have to save any of us. Character encompasses one moral values. If you could get away with something right now, what would you do? Just something to look at. All right, stay with it. All right, character and personality. We often use words character and personality interchangeably, meaning using one for the other, right? When they're not really the same. For example, when we're talking about a way a person behaves or how we perceive them, we may throw around adjectives like honesty, integrity, funny, outgoing, in an attempt to describe someone's character. But we're just describing their personality.
Yeah.
Because in order to know someone's character, what do you actually have to do with that person? What are you going to have to do in order to know somebody's character? What are you going to have to... What? Spend time with them.
Communicate with them.
Communicate with them. Character, how many of us were able to manipulate or say some Gucci shit to get a job that we weren't qualified for? And then after a month or so, they seen that we didn't have the character and they fired us. Character always revealed after. So if you truly want to know who somebody is and you ain't giving them the time of the day, do not judge who they are as a person then, because you have no idea. You're just doing it on personality. First impressions are great, but you could really fuck somebody over with a good first impression though.
Yeah.
I know that. I was that guy. I'm the king of first impressions. Shit. Talent. Charisma, better. Charisma gets you an opportunity. We could all get opportunities. Character is what's going to help you keep the opportunity. Talent wins games. You're going to be able to accumulate days, months, years maybe. Teamwork wins championships. You will never make it to the finish line if you're doing this by yourself. Ever. So you could be the best scorer on the worst team, who I used to want to be that, or you could be a role player on the championship team. Which one? Your character is going to reveal how you're answering that question. I wanted to be the best scorer on the worst team, so I would get the most attention. So my character was showing that. It was all about me. I was still self-righteous, still very selfish. Are you cool with being a role player on a championship team today? What makes a champion, you think?
Right.
Practice. Heart.
Dedication.
Dedication.
Obedient.
Obedience. Commitment. You notice nobody said trophy? Nobody said ring? Nobody said banner? You actually told me habits? Most people think the champion is the person that gets the ring. No, the ring is a result of becoming a champion. The money is a result of success. Money is not success. Money should be the result of success. Because if money is success, the Bible is very specific of the root of evil, the love and pursuit of money. So if money is success, you will jeopardize your character to make money. And we know that. What were you saying, George?
No, I was just reading. It said out of my book, work brings you money. Money buys you success. Success brings you wealth. Wealth buys you freedom.
There you go. I like that. Good days creates happiness. Bad days creates experiences.
Yep.
Worst days teach us lessons. Our best days create memories. No such thing as a bad day. You know why we call it a bad day?
Because something happened.
Because this got tested. No such thing as good days and bad days. You got good days and you got character building days. I don't have bad days. When I consider it a bad day, my values were probably compromised. I wasn't following my principles, so I got myself into some trouble that I'm considering it a bad day. You don't have bad days. Death and life is in the power of the tongue. Perspective equals potential. Be very careful on how you're speaking this shit. You're creating energy with your words. I'm very specific on my words, how I use them, manner in which I say them. I'm very specific with it because I know how powerful words could actually be to somebody. Even though words really don't have power, my words have power in your life because of how you're receiving my words. That's why they have power. All right? So what's the difference? Character refers to our individual beliefs and values, both which shape our personality. So if you're not sitting on values, you're cool with making people think some shit about you that ain't true. Personality. Personality refers to our temperaments and behaviors. What's temperament?
Like how you handle a hot situation.
Yeah? Good. Anyone else?
A hot heated.
It's all right.
That was cute.
All right. So personality, where we at? That's not the one I was just reading.
Wait, you said personality was temperament, and what is character?
Hold on 1 second, because I just lost internet. It's gonna have to
Obedient
look.
bring character.
Obedience is character.
Okay.
If you're an obedient person, that's your character. In order to be,
Okay.
because what is obedience? Obedience is values and principles. If I'm being obedient to God, I'm following His principles because I'm standing on His values, right? I got internet.
I almost read. Okay, I got you.
Hold on, my bad, y'all. Is it on? All right. Well, we keep. What did you say? Temperaments is our personality and behavior.
Okay.
All right.
So character would be behavior.
No, character is our values and our principles.
Okay.
Character really is what we are trying to become. It's who we are in the dark. So we want to stand on values and principles for character. Our personality expresses our temperaments and our behavior.
Okay.
So if I have bad temperament and bad behavior, I'm not sitting on the right values and practicing the right principles.
Okay.
So our character actually determines our personality. If you aren't standing on values and principles, you're okay with telling someone you love them just to get in their pants. You see that? Okay. So,
I've been telling my parents I love them since I was little.
all right.
But they love, and I told my mom, like, when you're on your deathbed, I'm still won't be able to say that I love you, but I'll say I know you loved me and I know that'll mean more.
Okay.
She's already crying.
There you go. You never know what that moment actually brings to you if and when that moment comes, right? So good.
She's seen me die, like, I broke my ribs when she gave me CPR.
Really?
Yeah.
That, she was really trying to save yours.
She has never done the same since she found me and my boyfriend dead in my bed.
Yeah, that's an experience for sure.
She says you never forget the first few seconds when you're too terrified to move when you look at your dead daughter's face, and then you have to step into action. But those first few seconds you can't even move.
Yeah, so personality traits. Identify desired traits, practice self-awareness, focus on communicational skills. So you develop positive personality traits. Identify the traits you want to actually practice. And then practice self-awareness with them, focus on communication skills, right? Key strategies to consider. Self-reflection. So people in AA and NA, they have daily inventory, correct? Are you guys actually practicing
I
that
do
practice?
that. I say, like, what could I have done better today?
Good. Very good.
And what did I do that, like, was better than yesterday?
Very good. You and I share a lot of the same practices. Very good, because I do the same. I do the same thing. At the end of the day, I ask myself, where could I get better? And then I big up myself on the stuff that I did well. Yeah, so I'm just like you. So self-reflection. Understand your current personality and identify specific traits you want to cultivate or improve on. What part of your personality don't you like?
The aggressive part.
Very good. Anybody? Remember, personality deals with temperaments and behaviors. Our character is what allows those temperament and behaviors to exist. What part of your personality would you like to start working on?
Thinking before I speak.
The sermon's on that Saturday.
Ah, nah, man.
Not let people taking my peace. Not
Don't
let
tell
them
me
take
that.
my peace.
Good? So what part of your character are you going to have to practice so people can't take your peace? What principles?
Boundaries?
You good?
Yeah,
What you
setting
said,
boundaries. I don't.
This one, unfortunately, you're going to have to have
Compassion.
compassion for people if you want to keep your peace.
Yeah.
Because compassion, the Latin root of compassion means to co-suffer. So if someone is bothering you, in order to show them compassion, suffer with them. That's true compassion. Jesus suffered for us. He suffered like we suffered in some incidences. So that's why he has compassion for us. He lived as a human. He was tempted by the devil. He had his homies denounce him. He had one of his homies snitch on him. He was innocent and was killed.
How do you suffer with someone though that is like just
Persecute.
really a bad person or just like really wrong?
So the Bible talks
Humble
about,
yourself.
Bible also talks about, and people think it's a contradiction. It says, answer fools to their folly and you become a fool. But rebuke a fool's folly and they will get wise. So they contradict, but what it's saying is know when. And
That's right. we just-
let your energy tell you that this person might just be in a certain place right now and just leave it.
I have learned how to like feel sorry, like even through their bad behavior, feel sorry for someone for what they're going through and all. But like, in my experience with that, it's like if I like reached out and was like, "Dude, how are you doing today?" or whatever, it honestly made them matter.
Yeah? Yeah?
You know,
You're being targeted.
We're all being targeted. If you're being targeted by a certain person, I pray for them. I'll leave them alone.
Yeah.
Because greater is he who lives inside of me. So if you're able to do something to me, that means God ordained it. So I need to find out why God ordained it and what I need to do to get through it.
I know.
Instead
I
of
love that.
pointing on
if
the
I
person.
complain about you, I'm complaining about God's handiwork.
Yes.
It's good when that helps me.
Yes.
I always repeat that.
So self-reflection. Understand your current personality and identify specific traits you would want to change. Second one, communicational skills. Practice active listening. Clear expression. Be very clear with your expressions. And empathy to build stronger connections with others. Empathy is different than sympathy. Does anybody know what makes them different?
Sympathy is feeling sorry for someone. Empathy is feeling for someone.
Very good. Anybody else want to add to it? That's pretty much it.
That's it.
That's it.
Sympathies, we feel bad for someone because they're going through something, so we might do something for them to make them feel better. Sometimes you got to let somebody sit in their shit. The Bible says if someone commits murder, do not let them feel better about themselves. Let them sit in that guilt, because that guilt will drive them to God and you let God heal them. Empathy is if you fall, I ain't picking you up. I'm going to sit with you on the floor until you get up.
That's right.
Sympathy is pulling you up.
So don't be an enabler.
Yes. Sympathy is, oh, I feel bad for you because this happened. The empathy is like, yo, I feel for you, but it happened and we need to get through it, bro, so let's figure it out. Sympathy allows us to justify our actions. You guys know, both my parents died of AIDS. They were addicts. 2 grandmothers, alcoholism. They were alcoholics. Grandfather, addict. Uncle, addict. People gave me sympathy. Mike, don't worry about it. You come from a family like that.
Yeah.
So I justify my actions. Yeah, see, I'm acting this way because of fucking them. It's their fault. You see how I justify my actions and didn't take responsibility? Because people gave me sympathy. People should have said, yeah, you know what, Mike, your parents were like that, but you got 2 siblings that didn't fuck up. You got 2 siblings that never picked up drugs in their life. Yeah, but we got to own up to this shit now, Mike. Let's make it better. That's empathy. Sympathy, we give ourselves way too much sympathy. The victim. That's giving ourselves sympathy. Empathy is taking responsibility for our actions. You know what? Yeah, I fucked up, but you know what? I can make it better. Positive mindset. Focus on optimism. Focus on gratitude. And focus on reframing negative thoughts. So we were talking about overcoming negative thoughts. I don't think I can, so I replace. If you can't overcome your drug habit, replace the drug habit with another habit. And watch how much easier that is than overcoming the drug. What do you think NA and AA does? It allows people to replace the habit. Put them around people, gives them things to do. Because when you stop doing drugs, you got a whole bunch of fucking time on your hands now. Yep. A whole bunch of time to think about all the shit you fucked up. A whole bunch of time to hate yourself. So you got to find something to replace the habit with. You can't get rid of one habit just by in your mind overcoming it and then thinking it's not going to bother you no more. I'm better at replacing shit. Beer and liquor, coke, MDMA, this girl for that girl, that job for this job, that couch for this couch, this car for that car. I'm real good at replacing. The action words that I asked you is how you're supposed to replace your negative thoughts. If you practice the action word when you're having negative thoughts, I don't even care what your action word is. I will prove that formula to be correct. If you practice patience with your negative thoughts, you won't act. If you practice self-care with your negative thoughts, you'll go do something for yourself. If you're practicing determination, you will keep your eyes on the prize. I don't care what your action word is. My action word is transparency. Whenever I'm having negative thoughts, I tell people them.
AA talks about, like, there's a step, I think it's step 4. I've never gotten to it. I've never really gotten to step 1, but I think step 4 is about, like, you talk about everything you have a resentment for in your life and the part that you played in it.
Yes.
And so some people who identify as victims say, I didn't play a part and that had nothing to do with me. But, like, the truth is, like, a man hurt me 3 years ago. And I didn't play a part in that, but you know what I did? He took 1 day from me. I gave him 3 years. I ruminated on it for 3 years. That was the part I played. The part I played was not letting it go, was not moving on, was not pressing charges, was not getting help. That's the part that I played because he only took 1 night from me. I gave him 3 years.
That's good.
Good for you. Good
That's
for
amazing
you.
that you found that.
Yeah.
Because normally they tell you that you didn't play a part in those kind of things,
Yeah.
and you still found your part. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, good for you.
There's a part in every, no one is, you know, like...
Takes 2 to tango and everything.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like, no one asked to be here. None of us have the right to still be here. Like, if life was, people complain about life not being fair. If life was fair, I would be in jail or
Yes.
I would be dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm very glad that life is not fair.
Amen. Good stuff.
That is-
I'm with it. All right, we'll end with that. That's a good mic drop. Everybody take a break. I'll see you at 10:45. Good stuff, sis.
Yeah.
That is kind of weird.
Yes.
Bye.
What you